Our backs against the wall. It seems impossible, but there's nobody else I would by my side, standing with me to take this fight through the rise and fall. With our fearless hearts, we could be odds, and we could live for 1,000 years. We could be legends if we all go down. If our time is now, we could let everyone know we were here. Be legends. We dream so colorful. Oh, we love so strong. The world is relentless, the city won't sleep. It hardens your soul, brings you to your knees. We can face it all. With our fearless hearts, we could be ours, and we could live for 1,000 years. We could be legends if we all go down. If our time is now, we could let everyone know we were here. Be legends.
Oops, daisy. Okay. Little crash here. I'll pause this for a second.
CC.
Everywhere I go, I get a standing ovation. Speaking the coast, my game got no imitation.
Hey Owen, are you using OBS to stream?
Yes, sir.
Just curious. I've been looking into streaming a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. There's a lot to go through at first to kind of figure out all of the scene editing, but once you get it, it's super easy, and yeah, it's definitely a hefty program. It takes a lot of memory, but not terribly.
What is it you're trying to do? Somebody told you you should probably give it up, they lied to you. Never aspire to the average or the mediocre. Let the greatness inside of you take over. Stockbroker or an activist, a soldier or a pacifist. Life a chain reaction, you a link or you a catalyst. Walk in the house of God, your house of cards starts collapsing. Fashion killer higher than Phyllis and Ass. Fuck titles, you provoking a reaction? Are you slow or are you fast, man? Are you smoking or you passing? You wishing or you hoping? Are you open for some action? The serious is heart attacks, man. Am I joking? Am I laughing? If you see me crack a smile and I got paid tonight, I'm with my air like some mama made a plate of rice. You say you need to dumb it down like that's some great advice. Nah, I'm way too busy showing them what greatness like. Everywhere I go, I get a standing ovation. Speaking the coast, my game got no imitation. It's in the face. You are now experiencing greatness. 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 Yeah, you are now experiencing. I'm prepared for the greatness. Spit a flow that'll strip your soul bare and naked. I ain't scared to say shit. Yeah, God is the greatest, no joke. I have my foes going through spiritual anguish. Cause I'm clearly
Okay, let's try that again.
staring at these so-called gangsters. We OGs do nothing to play with. This is much more than still hit on my Marla. What would a
Ligrone.
Yeah, when are you gonna let it go back to where you left off from, Mike? Always long and sit dark or. Well, shame.
Seems like some favoritism there too.
I agree.
You notice in Echoes that you're always dropped off in Tamia. So just saying.
Well, I mean that just makes sense.
Not for long.
Hey.
When I look in the distance on a starry night, everything.
Would you rather people picked one realm and stuck with it, or would you want them to flip flop? That's a hard question to really have a straight answer for. But yeah, I mean, I think as long as there's a good mix. I mean, I wouldn't want the entire game to be the same, but I think
I'll say for my. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no,
Sorry.
that's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for my just playing of the game, I'll tell you that Realm Loyalty meant a lot to me. Like I really enjoyed playing like as evil, not just because he was obviously better than the other realms, but because it's like that's where our characters were, and we never switched to other realms. It's like you had this sense of belonging in one realm. You really had that sense of loyalty. That said, though, I would be all for people trying new realms these days. Like I'm probably going to try evil or good just for fun because I really want to. I stand by my choice. Evil or good.
Yeah, but it's definitely two different angles. There's, as a player, for sure, loyalty is way more favored than realm jumping. But I think as a developer, you kind of want maybe a little bit of both, or just so they can see it and see it through the developer's standpoint. And so I think that, yeah, that was a pretty good answer.
I think my answer probably in the early days of DFC would have been just, pick a realm and stick to it. But now that I've not, played in a while and I regret not trying the other realms, I kind of would like to go and, be able to try one and then, try another one and then, kind of pick the one that suits me best.
Yeah, like, okay, so they get you to World of Warcraft, yeah, so you get, you got a rested experience bonus and all this stuff, and, I don't think it's super necessary because the leveling is pretty straightforward, the experience is straightforward, there's no, there's no, gimmicks or anything, there's no dungeons, there's no instances, stuff like that, and there's no, elite mobs, but it's kind of a step behind that as far as evolution, I guess, if you will, in kind of the gaming experience and leveling up experience. So right, yeah, so the idol itself takes care of that, so I think that's what everybody's used to. So I would hate to have to resort to some kind of gimmicky feature just so that you have incentive or less of an incentive to do one thing or play the other or not play something else.
Well, I just had an interesting thought. We always talk about ways to help keep the realms balanced and whatnot in terms of population and strength. Well, you could help cater to those who wanted to try different realms by allowing them to be able to transfer to those, not transfer, but to be able to play those realms without suffering any kind of penalty. So it's like normally you would have to give a penalty on realm hopping so that it's discouraged for CCing purposes and whatnot. But if one of the realms is underpopulated for X amount of time for a while, then you might let a character switch to that realm and not actually get that penalty. So that's something that would kind of encourage that.
Right.
So that would have to be kind of like a one-time thing, or have some kind of cooldown, to where it's like you get this benefit for now, but it's not like you can just switch right back. It kind of lock your other realm out for a brief period of time, or you get some kind of penalty for switching back, so that people wouldn't abuse it for temporary benefits. It would be more for really helping with the stability. But I really like that idea.
Yeah, there's definitely been a little bit of discussion for things like timing, the timer that you have to wait for to expire to actually get access to idols and their bonuses. So I think that's one pretty integral feature to think about.
Yeah, and that would, in my view, that would be like what do you call it? That disadvantage would be negated whenever you switched over to help the realm. Basically, if it was the population was just messed up for a while and you needed to balance things, if you switched over, you still got the bonuses or whatever bonus you would get. You wouldn't have to worry about losing that bonus.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and then you mentioned dungeons and group dungeons. There's a lot of room for growth as far as experiencing a new area. So I think that dungeons, may or may not act like many, or if any game in Darkness Rises. So I think ultimately the goal would be to have something that's rooted in the